Hello tubers. So on this part I'm going to be framing up the left side support wall. Um, the office is going to be like a central structure in the middle, and then but the floor on the second level is going to extend all the way to both sides of the building. So there's two ways to support those floor beams on the side. I can get a heavy laminate beam and put that in between two of the building's posts, or I can simply frame up a 2x4 wall uh, like I'm doing here. Doing that, I lose, 3.5, 4 inches of space on the floor, but I'm not really too worried about it. So that's the easiest, cheapest way to go. So what I did is I measured between the two major posts in the pole building, and I'm just going to simply stand this up a nice tight fit between the two. Now when you're nailing, of course, you're going to start from one side and go across, put your stringers across, and then you want to make sure you do the same, start from the same end on the other side, or you can wind up with kind of slanted studs. Doesn't work very good. So here I actually had to tap it in with a hammer. It's a nice tight fit, and then and before I put it in place, I put that liquid nails down on the concrete so that I could just put the wall section on top of it, and then I'll power nail in the bottom when I'm done. But right there I'm tying all of the studs into the sidewall supports, and we're just moving right along. Here I've already started putting up the floor beams for the second floor. And what I've got there is you put set it on the walls, you put a board on the side between them so that it keeps the floor beams vertical, so they can't flop over or fold up on you when you actually have the floor in and have weight on it. Now by doing this, when I'm done, I'll have a nice tight fit. All these floor beams will be have spacer boards between them, and they'll be basically a really tight fit between the two vertical posts in the pole building, the major posts. So there's no way they can lay down or fold up. And then later on I'll be adding tie straps, X-bracing across between each floor beam in a couple places, which helps disperse the load on the floor. Now on these 2x10s, I'm using 4 nails into the sideboard, and then 4 nails into the next board, and then 2 toenails into the header of the wall. There's a nice fit there. Put up the last one. Now that one I'm going to nail to the post itself, and then I'll drive in a board that I've cut that's a nice tight fit, so that they're all wedged together. It's pretty tough getting the nail gun in that tight space though. So here you see is the final piece going in there, and it's nice and snug. And drive it up in there with a hammer, tap it back in place, Put 4 nails on each side, toe-nailed into the 2 floorboards to hold it all into place. And there you have it. That floor is not going to fold up. Now this area that I'm putting the floor beams up over is going to be like a welding bay. It's important to. That's why I did it on this side where I purposely put the main breaker panel right there, because you want the shortest possible run between your welders and between your air compressor and the main panel. Now here what I'm doing is I'm marking the length, and I'm going to cut. This final piece is going to have 2 beams running across together because it's going to support a wall up above. And what I'm doing is I'm going to use the 2 pieces with short pieces of 2x10 between them to space them apart. And then the next section, I'm using, these are 2x10 by 12 foot, and then I'll be using 2x10 by 16 foot over the center, and that first piece will lay in between these 2 once I get it up there. See, there's the slots. You can see it's spaced apart, and right on the right hand side there where it was open. Now this beam ends exactly in the middle of that supporting wall, but because the 2x10 by 16 foot is going to extend into it several feet and then get nailed together on both sides, it will effectively carry all of that load. I'd like to thank you for watching, and hopefully tune in for the next one. I'm getting used to this software, so bear with me, please. Thank you.